Okay, the next skill looks at compound shapes, and a compound shape means it's a mixture of the shapes that we know how to deal with, and the only shapes at the moment we know how to deal with are rectangles, triangles, parallelograms and trapeziums. So we want to make sure that everything is cut up into those shapes. So if it's not one of those shapes, before you do anything else you need to make sure that it is cut up into some shapes that we know how to deal with. Now, they love asking these questions in GCSE, and we need to be really cautious with these because they're normally worth so many marks. There's a lot of steps involved in figuring out the solutions. So let's start by having a look at this. The first thing we need to do whenever we're faced with a question like this is to fill in the missing lengths. So we've got enough information there to fill in the missing lengths. Let's have a go and see if we can do it. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is look on the vertical direction. So on the vertical direction, I know that this length here is 2 meters and this length here is 5 meters. So I should be able to see that this length here, which I'm going to draw in red, that height there, I should be able to work out if this height is 2 meters and this height is 5 meters, then I know that this height here on this red arrow must be 3 meters, because 2 meters plus 3 meters gives me the 5 meters I've got over here. Let's then have a think, what about the height of the triangle? So I know that the total height is 7 meters. I know that this height here is 5 meters, so the height of my triangle must be 2 meters high. So that triangle is 2 meters high. Okay, there aren't any other missing vertical lengths. Let's have a look horizontally. So horizontally, I know that I've got 12 meters horizontally here and 5 meters horizontally here. So I should be able to work out, if that's 5 meters long, what this length here is. So I've got 5 meters across here, 12 meters in total. I should be able to see that this length here is 7 meters. 5 meters plus 7 meters gives me my 12 meters. Once I've got that, I know all of the missing information that I need. So I should be able to now divide this up into some shapes, into rectangles and triangles. Now, it should be clear that I've got a triangle up here. I've got 2 rectangles, and I can either draw a line down here or I can draw a line across. It doesn't matter which one you do, whichever you prefer. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line going down, and I'm going to label my shapes. This shape here is 1, it's a rectangle. This shape here is 2, it's also a rectangle. And up here I've got a triangle, which is shape 3. Once I've done that, I should be able to start working out the areas of each of those shapes. So let's look at shape 1, this shape here. I should be able to see it's a rectangle whose length is 5 meters and whose height is 2 meters. So shape 1, the formula for a rectangle is length times height. So 5 meters times 2 meters gives me my 10 meters squared. Let's have a look at shape 2. Now shape 2 is more complicated. We worked out that the length of this side of the shape was 7 meters. We worked that out earlier on. There's my 7 meter line. The height of this shape we know is 5 meters. So here, shape 2 is 7 meters wide times 5 meters tall, which is 35 meters squared. The last one is my triangle. Now, be careful, people often forget. Remember, the formula for the triangle is the base, which is 7, times the height. We know that that perpendicular height is 2 meters. So 7 times 2, but it's a triangle. So 7 times 2 divided by 2. 7 times 2 is 14, divided by 2 is 7 meters squared. So I've got my three shapes, 1, 2 and 3. My total area, then, when I add them together, 10 plus 35 is 45, plus 7, 52 meters squared. Now normally in a GCSE that would be worth probably 4 marks in total. So it's not one that you can easily afford to lose. There's nothing too difficult for anybody on that question, but we just need to take it easy, take it step by step, making sure that you start by filling in the missing lengths and then divide it into shapes that you know how to work with. Make sure you've got the worked example written down. Pause the video while you do that. When you're ready, press unpause and you can have a go at some questions yourself. Okay, so here are 4 questions for you to try. Questions 1 and 2, you need to find the missing lengths, cut them up into rectangles, and then find the area of each of the rectangles and add them together. Question 3 is slightly different. You're told what the area is of the entire shape. You need to find that missing length x. And then question 4 is a really typical GCSE question. Again, you'd expect to see this towards the end of a GCSE paper. You've got a shape, you need to paint it, and you need to work out how much it would cost to paint. Question 4, you are welcome to use a calculator to solve it. The other questions you should not need a calculator. Pause the video now, have a go, see if you can do them all yourselves. Good luck. Okay, so let's see how we got on with this. So on the first shape, I divided it up here. If you did that, you'd have seen this is 8 centimeters. 4 times 8 gave you 32 for shape 1. 2 times 13 gave you 26 for shape 2. Together, that would have given you 58 centimeters squared. You could have done it the other way, in which case you'd have got 9 times 2, which was 18, plus 40, which also gave you 58 centimeters squared. Either way is perfectly appropriate. Here we've divided it up into a rectangle and a square. The rectangle is 4 plus 3 plus 5, which is 12 centimeters long, by 4. 12 times 4 gave me 48 centimeters squared. Here I've got 5 times 5, which is 25 centimeters squared, so add them together gave me 73 centimeters squared. Here we know that this bit here is 7 times 10, which is 70. My total area is 106, so there must be 106 take away 70, which is 36 in here. 4 times something is 36, so I do 36 divided by 4, which tells me that this length here is 9 centimeters. Question 4, I've got trapezium on top and I've got a rectangle underneath. So looking at my trapezium, I know that if this is 16 and that's 5, the base of the trapezium is 11. So I do 7 plus 11 divided by 2, which is 9, times 4, tells me that this area is 36 meters squared. This is 8 times 16, which is 128. Add those together gave me 164 meters squared. It's 2 coats of paint, so I'm going to times it by 2 to give me 328 meters squared that needs to be painted. Dividing that by 10 gave me 32.8, so it means that I need to buy 33 tins. I'm going to need to round that up because I can't buy 0.8 of a tin. 33 tins at £6.99 each, and this is where we might need to reach for a calculator. 33 times £6.99 is 200. Oh, I've made a mistake. It's £230 and 67 pence. So you should have got an answer there of £230 and 67 pence. If you got that, that's really impressive. That's as difficult as these compound shaped questions get. Give yourself a mark out of 4. If you need any more practice on these, please take a look at Hegarty clip number 555. Very, very well done.